According to this ABC News poll, 76% of the American people say the president should look at all options when selecting someone for the Supreme Court. My question, why double down on this campaign promise that he made to get himself elected when it's clearly not what the American people think he should do?
You know, Joe Biden has a talent for ruining things, right? He ruined the Supreme Court confirmation process with Robert Bork and Clarence Thomas, destroyed it, in fact. And now he's ruining the selection process. You know, he wants to play identity politics with the Supreme Court. He should have opened, and as your poll shows, Rob, the American people want the best justice, most qualified justice on the Supreme Court. You hold an open competition, you look at everyone, you know, white men, white women, black men, black women, Hispanics, Asian Americans. You look at everybody and you come up with who you think is the best qualified justice.
Yeah, that's a good point. You make a great point about Robert Bork. People forget about that. It was the late 80s. And you think about Ted Kennedy's speech during that process. That was unheard of up to that point. And Joe Biden was right there with him.
You know, if you go back to the Bork ones, actually, what happens there, right, is that Biden is the chairman of the Judiciary Committee. He had literally just imploded with plagiarism charges, and he was dropping out. So he wanted to get back in the game and recover his reputation. That's why he smeared Robert Bork. It was a political sort of effort to reclaim his his standing, and that's what's happening here, right? You made a reference to this earlier. He made a commitment to Jim Clyburn during a debate backstage that he would name a black woman to the Supreme Court, and that's because he was seeking the Democratic nomination. He needed Clyburn's endorsement. So this is just a political act. This is not about finding the best nominee. Now, as I said, are there great qualified black women? Yes, there are. But he has tainted that choice by making this selection, the primary factors being race and gender.
Well, and think about Clarence Thomas. Had that O-Bar Palm Beach situation not happened with William Kennedy Smith, maybe Ted Kennedy's able to be more active in that process, and maybe we don't get Clarence Thomas. But that was at the backdrop of all of that when those hearings were taking place. We have no idea who Joe Biden's going to nominate. But do you think this is a slam dunk in the Senate right now, no matter who this candidate is? Or could Joe Biden have problems getting the 51 votes he needs?
Certainly, with the way he's treated some of his Democratic senators, like Manchin and Sinema, I don't know if you can count on them. What the Senate needs to do is get a nominee and then probe that nominee for the best justice is a person who has a respect for the rule of law, who's not going to be a super legislator. And I think they need to go through that confirmation process. So no, I don't think it's a slam dunk. I think you need to have the hearings. All the Republican senators need to step up and ask questions. And then see where we are at the end of those hearings.
So you heard Susan Collins a moment ago call the Supreme Court too political. I want to give you a couple examples. Justice Breyer, who's retiring, he was confirmed by a hugely bipartisan vote. It was 87-7, 27 years ago. Antonin Scalia, 98-0. Yet Brett Kavanaugh and Justice Amy Coney Barrett, they barely made it through the Senate. What's changed over the course of the last 20 years?
Well, 30 years they went after Clarence Thomas, Robert Bork they defeated. It's usually the Democrats who go after the Republicans and bring up all sorts of nonsense and ridiculous charges and try and smear and destroy people. So it really is, if you look right after the Thomas confirmation, it was Ginsburg, it was Breyer. Those justices were confirmed with overwhelming majority. So to me, it's a Democrat problem in terms of politicizing and trying to destroy nominees for the Supreme Court.
That's a great point. Mark, just about 15 seconds. Joe Biden blocked what would have become the first African-American woman on the Supreme Court, Janice Rogers, 2003 and 2005. What's changed with him?
And Joe Biden used the filibuster against Janice Rogers Brown for the D.C. Circuit. Yeah, and for Miguel Estrada. He's just plays politics with judges.
George W. Bush wanted that back in 2003, and it was Joe Biden who didn't let it happen. Ironic.
Exactly right.
Ironic. Mark Paoletta, great having you back on the show. We appreciate you coming back on with us. Come see us again soon. Thank you.